Good morning, students. Good morning, delegates, participants, resource people, in case you are here. I request all the students who are seated at the back to come and form a symmetry in the auditorium, please. I request you to get up from your seats, occupy the seats which are vacant in the front, so that the auditorium looks in a little symmetry. We all are on recorded session, so you'd like to see yourself seated in a symmetry. May I request all the students on my left row to please get up, occupy the seats in the front. I also request the audience in the auditorium to keep their mobile phones on silent. Our chief guest has arrived at the campus and they'll be joining us very soon. He's a very renowned personality, a good professional, and a wonderful human being, and has worked day in and out during the COVID pandemic era. So it is going to be a privilege, not just for me, but for everybody, to listen to him in person. All the students who are just entering the auditorium, please occupy the seats in the front, on the right side of the auditorium, please. I repeat, all the students who've just entered the auditorium. Madam in the last row, please get up from there and occupy the seats on my right. Thank you. We'll be shortly joined by the dignitaries in the auditorium. ये साइड में क्यों कर दिया? ये बैकग्राउंड में आ रहा है। May I request everyone to take their seats now? Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure to welcome you to the inauguration ceremony of HCCBI and signing of MOU between Cognitive Computing and Brain Informatics, CCBI, Research Group of Nottingham Trent University, UK, and Amity Cognitive Computing and Brain Informatics Center, ACCBI, Amity University, Rajasthan. The event is sponsored by Nottingham Trent University, UK, supported by Applied Intelligence and Informatics Lab and Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. For the event, we are extremely privileged to have the blessings of a beloved Honorable Founder President, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, sir, and good wishes from respected Honorable Chancellor, Amity University, Dr. Asim Chauhan. The session is graced by our dynamic and motivating leaders. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Amity University, Rajasthan, Professor Amit Jain, sir, and Pro Vice Chancellor, Amity University, Rajasthan, Professor G.K. Aseri, sir. A warm welcome to you, sir. The session is also graced by our distinguished chief guest, Dr. Sudhir Bhandari, Vice Chancellor, RUHS. A very warm welcome to you, sir. I warmly welcome our honored guests from Nottingham Trent University, UK, Director CCBI, Professor Mufti Mahmood, sir. Welcome, sir. I also extend a warm welcome to Dr. M.M. Rahman of American International University, Bangladesh, who is visiting as resource person at the university. Welcome, sir. I welcome our distinguished guests from SMS Medical College who have graced the inaugural session in person. I extend a warm welcome to all our honored guests and speakers who have joined us virtually, not limiting themselves to the differences in time zones. Welcome to the inaugural session. I welcome all deans, HOIs, directors, academicians, research scholars, and students of Amity University, Rajasthan, to the inaugural ceremony of Amity Cognitive Computing and Brain Informatics Center, ACCBI, and signing of MOU ceremony. As a tradition at Amity University, we start all our endeavors after seeking blessings from the Almighty. I request the dignitaries and honored guests to come forward for the lighting of the lamp. May I request IT to play the Saraswati Vandana.
Oh. 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 या कुन्देन्दुतुषारहारधवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणाम्बरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्करप्रभृतिभिर्देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मा पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा.
Thank you, dignitaries. The lighting of the lamp signifies assimilation of knowledge and blessings. May I request the dignitaries to please take their seats on the stage. Let's have a round of applause for our dignitaries. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I will take a moment to briefly introduce and invite Honorable Vice Chancellor, Amity University, Rajasthan, Professor Amit Jain. Professor Jain is currently President of Amity University, Rajasthan, and has served the university in many strategic and administrative roles as Pro Vice Chancellor, Dean Faculty of Management, Director, Amity Business School, as well as Director, International Collaborations. Sir is also awarded as the youngest Vice Chancellor. In the past, Professor Jain has served as Professor Tapmi School of Business at Manipal University, Jaipur, and has been a visiting professor with University of Technology, UTS, Sydney, Australia, Zekni Istvan University, Hungary, and Celanos University, Slovakia. Professor Jain is also a passionate trainer, researcher, and have designed several training programs for multiple organizations. Sir, I request you to announce the inauguration of ACCBI Center and address the audience.
Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Sudhir Bhandari, Guest of Honor, Dr. Mufti, and colleagues from NTU, my colleagues and our partners from SMS, my colleagues, Professor S.L. Kothari and Dr. G.K. Aseri, Pro Vice Chancellor, the head of this center, which we are establishing today, Dr. Kanad Ray, all deans and directors, faculty colleagues, and enthusiastic participants of this wonderful workshop. A very warm welcome and greetings to all. It is indeed a matter of great pleasure and pride for all of us that today we are inaugurating a center which is not only very, very relevant and need of the hour, but also spans over countries. The research work that will happen as part of this center will be a collaboration between university and professors at Bangladesh University and professors at UK, Nottingham Trent University, universities and professors in India, including several institutions, including SMS, MNIT, Amity University, Rajasthan, to name a few. Talking about the growth and development that we have seen during last 2 decades or so at Amity University, since there are some participants from outside also who have come to the university for the first time, as well as some of our honored guests are visiting us for the first time. I would like to give you a brief overview of what Amity Group stands for. Dear sir, and ma'am, we are today one of the largest university group in the country and I believe in the world. The advantage with a country like India is that if you are largest and biggest in India, you automatically become largest and biggest in the world because all said and done, 1/5 population of the entire world lives in India. So today we have 13 university campuses in India. The latest one that we started is in Bangalore. So we are spread across the country now and including down south. And the objective going forward is that we will have one university in every state in the country. We have 17 campuses globally, and that makes us one of the most global group of education from country in the world. And at a given point of time, we also have 25 schools, preschools, and Amity school students for last 5 years. If you see the CBSE results, we are always in top 5, and most of the times the top rank is achieved by the Amity student in the CBSE board exams also. So adding up, we are a family of around 2 lakh students. We are a family of around 6,000 faculty members, research scientists and scholars. And above all, we are a family where we all always learn and respect each other. Honorable founder president, who himself happens to be a great scientist, lived in Germany for many, many years. And after that, he was heading an organization where almost 500 Germans were reporting to him. And from there, he moved to country with one vision, one passion, and one objective to make India a knowledge superpower. And all our efforts, all our endeavors are directed towards making our country a knowledge superpower. And all the universities always focus on research and innovation in this country. In fact, before 2 years, we were awarded as the topmost institution in terms of IPR, and we were ahead of many IITs also that year in terms of patent filing and the IPRs that we have created. And that reflects our potential in terms of innovation, that reflect our potential in terms of research. Sir, every year our faculty members are publishing close to 500 research papers. I'm talking only about Jaipur campus now. We are a small group of around 180 faculty members, but still we are able to produce almost 500 research papers every year. And our faculties have published in Lancet, our faculties have published in JAMA Oncology, faculty have published in Nature, Nature Medicine, to name a few, and topmost journals with highest impact factors that we can find in the world. In addition to that, our students are doing extremely well. I'm very happy to share with all the students who are present here that one of your colleague, one of your batchmate yesterday has got placed with Microsoft at a package of 53 lakhs, 52 point something plus. Maybe we can have Akash Seth from So this is a news that I received yesterday evening and only, and we are so proud of the achievements of all our students. Uh, Even during pandemic, sir, we have achieved a placement percentage of 90-95%. And every year we are almost touching all those who want a job, they are able to get a job. Last year, there were somewhere around 900 students passing out, and 415 companies visited here for campus placement. As on date, even for the 24 batch that is passing out, already we had 350 plus companies on the campus, either in virtual or in physical format. And the students are getting placed every day. 2 or 3 companies are doing campus placements, and some or other students are getting placed. We are doing a lot for the environment and the society. We have our two strengths, which we can really talk about. We are very strong in our industry collaborations. For every school and every program, there is an industry advisory board, and this board is headed by the topmost industry personnel, CEOs, vice president, presidents of the companies. And every 6 months, they review our curriculum and give us feedback that what new we can do. And that is the result that we have state of the art program. The student that I'm talking about is part of MSc Cybersecurity, which is a very unique program in the country, and we are running it for last 5 years. We were the first one to launch an MBA with a specialization in digital marketing. We are the first one to launch an MBA with a specialization in data science and AI. Almost before 7 years, when people have not heard about maybe cognitive computing or neuroscience, we have been running specializations of AI data sciences. So we are ahead of the curve always in terms of our curriculum. Our students are performing very well, our teachers are doing very well, and I'm sure with the collaboration of esteemed partners like NTU, like SMS, like RUHS, and with the guidance and mentorship of experts like Dr. Sudhir Bhandari, going forward we will be doing very good in terms of furthering our objective and the mission and the passion of our honorable founder president to make India a knowledge superpower. Thank you so much. With these small words, when we have dignitaries like this, I would not like to stretch further, but my good wishes to all the organizers of this particular workshop, and my good wishes for the future work of this wonderful center that we are establishing today, which is a Center for Cognitive Computing and Brain Informatics. As I understand, cognitive computing, I'm a management professor, but I understand a little bit that cognitive computing is an amalgamation or convergence of 3 domains: psychology, computer sciences, as well as neurosciences. And we have all these 3 departments doing very well represented here, right here in our first row. And I'm sure that they will be working. Similarly, brain informatics helps us to understand the intricacies of how brain functions. And this is something that has always intrigued everyone. Um, you know, there are always a lot of memes and WhatsApp forwards that we find that talk about artificial intelligence and to what extent our job and our work will be taken up by artificial intelligence. But my only message to all my young blood here is that all my young students here is that no, your jobs are very safe and secure. The only thing that you need to know is how to use AI to further improve your work, and how to use artificial intelligence for improving your productivity. So your skill set will change, and we will make sure that whatever curriculum we are teaching, those skill sets are incorporated so that you are always ahead of the curve. Good wishes to all. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir, for inaugurating the HCCBI Center and addressing the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now have the signing of the MOU. I request Dr. Mufti Mahmood, Director CCBI, NTU UK, to proceed with signing of MOU. May I request Director ACCBI, Amity University, Rajasthan, Professor Kanadre, to join for signing of MOU. May I request Registrar Dr. Nitin Bharadwaj, sir, to join the dignitaries on the stage for the signing of the MOU. Congratulations to all of us. Congratulations to the directors of the centers. Thank you, Professor Mufti Mohammed, sir. Mahmood, sir. Thank you, dignitaries. May I now request Professor Kanad Ray, Director, ACCBI, and Professor of Applied Physics at Amity School of Applied Sciences, to deliver the welcome address and introduce our guests to the audience.
Okay. So, good morning, everybody. Our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Amit Jain, uh, Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor G.K. Asidi, our Chief Guest, Dr. Sudhir Bhandari, Professor Mufti Mahmud, who has come from NTU, England, Professor Kothari, and all the other dignitaries, Dr. Imam Rahman, who has come from Bangladesh as a resource person. There would be some other resource persons here from SMS Medical College. I think they have not received PhD. Okay, so this is very special day for us. I think it will be a very important day in future because this center is some interdisciplinary center, as we have already understood, that cognitive computing and brain informatics. And we have this collaboration and we have signed the MOU with Nottingham Trent University. Dr. Mufti Mahmood, who is director of similar center there, he has come and we would be collaborating further. And one of the first activities would be today under this center, some workshop. And the workshop is on the early prediction of dementia using some tools based on explainable artificial intelligence. So this is the need of the hour, as Professor Amit Jain had already mentioned, that right now what we understand in India particularly, we do not have this kind of awareness or the expertise, and we have ample, scope and chance to work in this field. So this is a very, very important aspect for future, and many of the uh, collaborators who are abroad would be also joining us later in the brainstorming session. So from USA, from Canada, from Malaysia, from Bangladesh, they would be joining us later on online. Now, this is something also very close to our founder president's heart and our chancellor's heart, because in Amity, we have this behavioral science. This is compulsory for all of us, this behavioral science and cognitive science. And the students are, uh, learning this along with all the other subjects. And the point is here, we would be going for something which is technology based, science based. It is not that qualitative, it would be quantitative. And this thing would be, catering to the need of addressing the societal aspects, because this is basically some humanitarian technology that we are trying to develop. And this center would be some amalgamation of all the disciplines, starting from the neuroscience, psychology, then biotechnology, artificial intelligence, computer science, engineering, other streams like the electronics engineering and all this, because many of these smart tools and hardware also are required. And for the communication part, now the digital communication for the medical fields also. So all of them, and also the basic thing or basis of that would be, some mathematics and physics. Dr. Rahman is also here, he's from mathematics. So these things are going to be synchronized to cater to the need of the society, and this is human-centric and human and technology, which should be sustainable in nature, and would later on it would detect and address many of these diseases and to cure these diseases. So I think, already I have spoken a bit, and thank you very much, everybody. Oh, I could see some of them from Central University of Rajasthan. I just could see. So welcome to everybody from outside, a lot of participants from outside. And I hope the brainstorming session would be the co-designed session that would be later on, would be there would be, something would come out of that which could be applied for developing this kind of tools. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I now have the privilege to introduce briefly Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, Amity University, Rajasthan, Professor G.K. Aseri. Professor Aseri is currently Pro Vice Chancellor and Director of Amity Institute of Microbial Technology. And sir is here already. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Ravi. So, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Chief Guest of the Day, Bhandari ji, Dr. Mahmood, Dr. Rahman, and the person for the center, Dr. Kanad, Professor Kothari ji, who is giving the handholding to the research centers and all the research bodies, not only for the Amity University, Rajasthan, for other 6 universities under our Chancellor, Dr. Asim Chauhan ji, and the galaxy of our university and the guests from other departments of the all university, like heads, deans, directors, faculty, and support staff, including OSD, DDG, registrar, and DSW. As Vice Chancellor has already given the best practices of our university, what we are giving to the students and scholars. And with all cumulative, we can say the one word like we have earned the NAC A+ certificate from the UGC. So this is the results of all the hard work of the students, scholars, and faculty members, sir. And in the R&D side, today, we are now going to start this new center. And we are running some centers. We have given some technology to the industries. And again, today is the very important day where we are giving one more research center to the university. So congratulations to Kanadre, sir, and the MIT University, Rajasthan, including all of us. Really, this is the platform where we can integrate a lot of different type of domains. And as we are research focused university, definitely we will put our full efforts in this center and will give some delivery, as it is very important domain. In the R&D side, as a university, we make a balance between the academics and the research. And in the post-graduation programs and PhD scholars, research publications, and the patents and all type of the research delivery, we ensure. And in the implementation of the NEP side, we have modified some of the program where the research publications are the important part in one of the semester, particularly in the end side of the program. So R&D is already in the blood of MIT University, Rajasthan, and we are going to increase. This is the really giving good benefit to all the students, whether they are in the UG, PG, or PhD, because all the PhD scholars are working in the various laboratories. So we have made a setup in the respective laboratories. Their scholars are teaching, scholars are involved in some of the practicals, so that they give the latest information to the students. This type of the setup we are running. With this new center, I think will strengthen one more domain. So congratulations. Thank you very much for giving me this chance. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I would now like to introduce briefly Vice President ASTIF, Professor S.L. Kothari. Professor Kothari is currently working as Distinguished Professor of Biotechnology at Amity University, Rajasthan, and Vice President, Amity Science, Technology, and Innovation Foundation. Sir has worked previously with Rajasthan University and held strategic administrative positions. Professor Kothari's research work is cited internationally and he has won various awards. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Ravi. Good morning to all of you. Chief guest of today's function, Professor Sudhir Bhandari, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Rajasthan Health University, Professor Amit Jain, Vice Chancellor, MIT University, Professor G.K. Aseri, Professor Kanad Ray, Professor Mufti Mahmood, Professor Rahman, and my other colleagues. I'm extremely happy that our Vice Chancellor today has inaugurated the Cognitive Computing and Brain Informatics Center. This center is an interdisciplinary research center, and idea of establishing this center arose about 6, 7, 8 years back when I joined MIT University after completing my tenure at University of Rajasthan, 35 years there. And in University of Rajasthan, I established a center by the name Converging Technologies Center. And there, cognitive and neuroscience were the essential components of converging technologies. When I joined here and Professor Kanadre was already working here in the physics department, and we had collaborations with National Institute of Material Sciences, NIMS, Japan, and few other colleagues from different areas of research were already collaborating with Kanadre, and I got very interested in establishing an artificial brain research center and cognitive research center and in the form of cognitive sciences to understand cognitive sciences and brain functions. So this is an interdisciplinary center, and here researchers will mainly focus on cognitive and brain science and also to address some of the unanswered questions. One of a very eminent cognitive scientist was asked, how long have you been learning? Cognition means learning. Psychology people will tell you that it is learning process. And he was asked, how long have you been learning? So he said that I've been learning since 5 billion years ago, since 5 billion years. So it is a surprising answer. We have been learning for last 5 billion years. Since the very first cell originated on this earth, since then we have been learning because we have a deep connect with that cell which first originated. Every cell comes from pre-existing cell. All biologists know this phenomena, and non-biologists also understand that cells come from pre-existing cells. Therefore, every cell is connected. And first time when cell originated, it learned few things. How it learned, we do not know. But that learning process is continuing till date. And when the first cell originated, and there are large number of organisms on earth which are single-celled or even multicellular, and they do not have any brain cells. Still they are learning. Still they have some kind of information processing. And how that information is processed, these are some of the questions which are not yet answered. Another very important question which has not been answered is how universe originated. So I'm not talking about that part, how universe originated. But second biggest question on earth is how life originated and how life functions. We know how life functions to a great extent, but how life originated, we do not know. And also we do not know a single cell which does not have any neurons or neuronal elements, still it has some kind of sense, intelligence, and learning ability. Learning ability is there in those cells. So taking those small organisms to larger organisms, we will try to understand how cognition develops in this center. And this center, I'm sure Professor Kanadre will welcome everybody from any area of research who can address some of these fundamental questions. So with these few words, I am extremely delighted that our Honorable Founder President, Honorable Chancellor, created a position in the university system of a distinguished professor or vice president, so to say, MIT Science, Technology and Innovation Foundation, STEA Foundation. Science, Technology and Innovation Foundation is unique feature with MIT system, where People are not asked to teach. People are not asked to do any administrative work, but do research and address some deeper questions. And we are trying to do that with support from all of you, with support from Professor Bandari, people like him. We will be able to make certain mark in these areas also. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. I now take the privilege to briefly introduce our honored guest and resource person, Professor Mufti Mahmood, Director, CCBI NTU, UK, and Associate Professor of Cognitive Computing at the Computer Science Department of NTU, UK. Professor Mahmood is highly cited scientist, a highly awarded professional, member of several strategic committees and chapters. It's a privilege to hear from you, sir. I welcome you to address the audience. Over to you.
Good morning, everyone. And the distinguished guests, Professor Bhandari, Professor Jain, Professor Aseri, Professor Kothari, and Professor Ray, Professor Rahman sitting there. So, and all this audience that in front of me, I'm overwhelmed. Now, we all are here trying to focus on research, okay? Well, the purpose of a university is not to disseminate knowledge, but also to generate knowledge. Now, in that generation process, we are all here trying to establish a research center. And well, I lead such a research group at Nottingham Trent University, where we are trying to address some of the timely research questions in understanding brain's functionality and trying to develop systems which can learn and then try to address some of the societal challenges the current society is facing. Now, research actually needs motivation, okay? And without motivation, dedication, the amount of dedication that is needed to do research is not possible. Now, you see that, well, a job, research is not considered as a job. Now, a job is usually 9 to 5. For example, someone is working in especially the technologists who are working in industries, they go to office in the morning, come in the evening, well, fine, that is the end of their day. But the researcher's mind are never at rest. They're always in quest of answering questions pertaining to the research that they are doing. Now, in this particular context, the motivation is very important, because if you do not have motivation, you will not be able to really put forward that much effort or put forward the kind of time that is needed to find solutions to those research questions. Given that, well, I am originally from the region, okay? So, historically, before 1947, this was a single country, which was known as India, but of course, for different reasons, and I'm sorry for the imperialism, I am based on in the UK now, but for the imperialism of UK, we are now separated. Now that, well, I am being living in Europe, despite the fact that, well, I am originally from Bangladesh, and then I have multiple citizenships also from Europe, I did not forget my roots, and the passion and the motivation to contribute to the people of the region is something which has bounded me to answer some of the research questions pertaining to the people of the region. Now, from the other aspect, we are blessed to be trained as technologists, because technologists, in my humble opinion, are tools, okay, which we then can apply in many different disciplines to answer the questions pertaining to those disciplines. Now, think of a plier, plier, which you also probably know, which are known locally in some of the places as wrenches, okay? So you can open any kind of stuff with those. It's not only the screws, but well, based on the plier that you have, you can actually do many different things. So in my humble opinion, computing and the related technologies are something that opens up the ways to contribute in a number of different ways. Of course, you will have to learn to speak the different languages of the different domains, and that is where we need training. So through this research center, I think that we'll have the opportunity to do research and to train the scientists of the next generation who will be having the motivation to contribute to the societal challenges to leave a better world behind as legacy. Okay, so with this, I would like to thank you all for being here, and I invite you all to attend the co-design workshop that will be holding in the afternoon, okay, later today. And then we'll also look forward to, let's say, sharing some of the challenges that the current society is facing and how we are going to address them. And I thank you again for the leadership of Amity University, Rajasthan, for allowing us to have this particular center being established here. And I look forward to a long-lasting relationship between the two universities. Thank you very much again.
Thank you very much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, I now have the privilege to introduce very briefly, I try to sum up the vast experience and achievements of our honored chief guest, Dr. Sudhir Bhandari. Dr. Bhandari is a professional with excellence in social work with humanitarian services. Sir is a senior professor of medicine at SMS Medical College and Hospital, Jaipur. He is a renowned physician and diabetologist and fellow of Royal College of Physicians, FRCP, London, Edinburgh. Dr. Bhandari is highly awarded medical professional and holds prestigious fellowships. Sir has also published more than 80 articles on hypertension, diabetes, and cardiovascular disorders in reputed medical journals and chapters in textbooks on related topics. Sir, it is a privilege to hear from you. I request you to address the audience. Over to you.
Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Amit Jain, Pro Vice Chancellor Dr. Seri, Professor Kothari, Dr. Karnad, who is the man behind the today's show, guest of honor from Nottingham, Dr. Mohammed. It's been a wonderful day. My honor and privilege to be here. Having heard the credentials of Amity probably has been very inspiring. Not only in the research and academics, but you have been growing, you have been working hard in every possible direction to make a perfect human being, which is an amalgamation of knowledge, amalgamation of research, and amalgamation of behavior and the human traits. And I must compliment all the management, your great Chancellor, Dr. Asim Chauhan, and Dr. Amit Jain for all what you have achieved so far. It was heartening to know that innumerable patents with Amity has gained. It was heartening to know the profile of the Amity University, and world over you have the wings and you have the spreads of your research centers, which is highly commendable. Ladies and gentlemen, I take this opportunity to formally welcome the August gathering, witnessing the dedicatory opening of the Center for Cognitive Computing and Brain Informatics in collaboration with Nottingham Trent University, UK. With the advancement of technology, artificial intelligence shows promising results in assisting with the detection of early stage dementia, but it's not just about detection. We must also ensure that these AI tools are explainable and we improve the quality of life. When we got independence 75 years before, the average lifespan of our country was 49 to 50 years. Today, in 75 years, average lifespan of country is 73 years. The longevity is improving, and probably we are committed to improve the quality of life, and we need to pick up the early diagnosis of lifestyle diseases and especially the central nervous system diseases. Explainability is essential for building trust in AI systems, especially in the critical domains like healthcare. When dealing with something as sensitive as dementia diagnosis, is crucial for clinicians and patients to understand how AI arrives at its conclusion. Artificial intelligence is need of our and MIT University in its sync with aspirations of New India, driving the changes in New World Order with disruptive technologies like artificial intelligence. Establishment of a Center for Artificial Intelligence in campus will enable availability of supercomputers with high quality computing facilities. This will enhance the learning process of students and help them explore various opportunities in this upcoming arena. I do expect the center to provide courses and training to students of all possible domain in area of artificial intelligence. When we talk about healthcare, AI has made great strides in early detection and diagnosis of diseases, especially in cardiovascular diseases. We now have better cardiac imaging technologies and early prediction of strokes because of AI. Another area where AI has shown significant promises is dementia or Alzheimer's disease. It helps researchers in early diagnosis of dementia by spotting early signs, automatically integrating patients' information, flagging unexpected changes, enhancing care, and even supporting people living at home. We urgently need cost-effective, objective biomarkers to detect Alzheimer's disease and other dementia at an early age. Risk factors modification could prevent 40% of cases, and drug trials would have greater chances of success in participants are recruited at an early stage. Specialist brain scans and body fluid biomarkers can detect earlier stages of dementia but are too invasive or expensive for widespread use. With the advancement of technology, AI shows promising results in assisting with detecting of early stage dementia. We can conclude definitely that designing and developing novel, explainable AI-proof tools for early detection and management of dementia holds tremendous promise for improving patients' outcome and easing the burden on caregivers and healthcare system. AI has the potential to revolutionize dementia care by enabling early detection, personalized treatment, continuous monitoring, caregiver support, and the advancement in research and development. By leveraging the power of AI, we can improve the lives of individuals living with dementia and their caregivers while also advancing our understanding and management of this challenging condition. By combining cutting edge technology with human centered approach, we can make significant stride in fight against dementia and provide hope for brighter future. However, before this goal is reached, several challenges need to be overcome, and only a multidisciplinary approach can provide data-driven decision making to its full potential. I would like to, in last, say that my heartfelt gratitude to organizing committee, our esteemed speakers, and each participants. May this workshop ignite the flame of discovery, and may our collective efforts illuminate the path towards artificial intelligence, powered tool for early detection and management of dementia. May the long life be coupled up with the healthy brain functioning. Thank you very much. Let us embark on this journey togetherness. And I once again compliment and congratulate the management of MIT for crafting such a wonderful program and having such a wonderful collaboration, which is a need of our for better quality of life for the growing population. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for the enriching address. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now have the presenting of mementos. May I request Honorable Vice Chancellor, Amity University, Rajasthan, Professor Amit Jain, sir, to present a memento to our distinguished chief guest, Dr. Sudhir Bhandari, sir. May I request Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, Amity University, Rajasthan, Professor Aseri, sir, to present a memento to our honored guest and resource person, Professor Mufti Mahmood, sir. May I request Vice President STIF, Professor S.L. Kothari, sir, to present a memento to our honored guest, Dr. Sunil Suthar, sir, who's made his way to the university from SMS Medical College. I request Director ACCBI, Amity University, Rajasthan, Professor Kanad Ray, sir, to present a memento to our honored guest, Dr. Sunil Sharma from SMS Medical College. May I request Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, to present a memento to Dr. M.M. Rahman, sir. Sir has come to us from American International University, Bangladesh, as a resource person. Thank you, dignitaries and honored guests. May I now request Dr. Ira Upadhyay, Associate Professor, Amity Institute of Biotechnology, to propose a vote of thanks. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Namaste, everyone. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Pro Vice Chancellor, distinguished guests, respected deans, directors, faculty colleagues, Professor Kothari, Professor uh, Professor Mahmood, Professor G.K. Aseri, Professor Kanadre, all. On behalf of organizing committee of the workshop, I, Dr. Ira Upadhyay, feels immense pleasure in proposing the vote of thanks. I would like to thank all the honorable delegates who blessed us with their presence and valuable time. We wholeheartedly thank our Honorable Founder President Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan and Honorable Chancellor Dr. Asim Chauhan for their continuous motivation and kind support to us. It is my privilege to convey my heartfelt gratitude to our chief guest, Dr. Sudhir Bhandari, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Rajasthan University of Health Sciences, Jaipur, for his insightful talk about the importance of diagnostic of dementia and application of AI for detecting dementia. I extend my gratitude to Honorable Guest of Honor, uh, Dr. Mufti Mahmood, NTU UK, for giving insights about the technologies and advancement of the center. I extend my gratitude to honorable guests of honors from SMS Medical College, MNIT, and Central University of Rajasthan, respectively, Dr. Rajesh Chaudhary, Dr. Mahipal, Dr. Vijay, Dr. Sanjay, Dr. Lalit, Dr. Dharam Singh, Dr. Yogesh, Professor Ghanshyam, Dr. Deepti, Dr. Sanyog Raghav. Thank you for gracing the occasion. I would like to express my gratitude to our resource persons, Dr. Rahman, Dr. Sunil Suthar, Dr. Sunil Sharma. They will be enlightening us with their keynote talks during the technical sessions. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation for our Honorable President, Professor Amit Jain, Professor G.K. Aseri, Pro-President, Vice President STIF, Professor S.L. Kothari, Dean Research and Director, Professor Vinay Sharma, uh, HOI of SRs, Professor Jagdish Prasad, for being the driving force behind this event. I also wish to express my gratitude to Professor Kanadre for his taking the initiative to conduct the workshop and proposing a relevant center to be established at AUR. We are extremely grateful to our Registrar, Dr. Nitin Bharadwaj, Director Administration, uh, Group Captain Ajay Mudliar, and Finance Officer Mr. Sunil Bhargava, who helped us in obtaining the necessary administrative approval for organizing this event. I would like to thank Director IT Cell, Mr. Ravi Pachori, for his team, Dr. RP Singh, Amazon, Administration and Media team from ESCO support for their support and cooperation. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated student volunteers who have been expressed willingness to take on completion of this task beyond these comfort zones. I extend a very special thanks to all the members of organizing committee, Professor Kanadre, Dr. Desh Deepak, Dr. Monica Gwalani, and my other colleagues from teaching and non-teaching staff for their unflinching support and coordination. I also very thankful to Mr. Vivek Jain, who is very key factor behind organizing all the administrative support and approval and any kind of support we got from Mr. Vivek Jain. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Jain. With these warm words and kind messages, we move to successful completion of inaugural session of this workshop. Once again, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. I was just hoping, sir, if we could have the national anthem in the first place and then proceed with the good. Okay, sir. तैयारी रखो. We will now have the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you, dignitaries. Thank you, audience. With this, the inaugural session concludes. We will now have co-designing workshop on designing explainable artificial intelligence powered tools for early detection and management of dementia. Thank you. Sir. May I request my co-anchors to take it further from me? प्रोग्राम में देखना वही तो नहीं अब वो सर से पूछ लो तो फिर
पहले तो आपका ही
अरे मेरा इधर ये गया था कि
क्या चाहिए, क्या चाहिए?
सर
12
जो एसएमएस मेडिकल कॉलेज
हाँ, हाँ,
हाँ
हाँ हाँ रिसोर्स पर्सन उनके लिए है ना मोमेंटो
हाँ उनको सुपरिटेंडेंट अब ये जूनियर है वो जूनियर है ना
अरे जो रिसोर्स पर्सन है सबका है
हाँ तो वो तो सर यहाँ तो आपको क्या आपका फर्क नहीं है हाँ और बहुत से हैं।
चलो रिसोर्स पर्सन सबका है सबका है सबका है उनको
अभी वन वक्त ना ऑनलाइन कैसे करना चालू है माइक वगैरह वो गेस्ट तो आए हैं
वहाँ जाइए ये ट्रायल दे देता हूँ अभी आ गया क्या
गेस्ट ज्वाइन हुए ना
हाँ कितने जो ज्वाइन हो गए मैं बाकी को बोल देता हूँ ज्वाइन करने के लिए
जैकलिन कोब्रेट है
हाँ जिसिन फॉरवर्ड है ठीक है
जैसे
सोहेल मोहम्मद आ
सोहेल
गया
मोहम्मद है।
ठीक है कनाडा से है दोनों
बाकी
बाकी मैं ज्वाइन करने के लिए बोल देता हूँ
ठीक है
मेरा मोबाइल इधर मैं बोल देता हूँ प्लीज ज्वाइन ठीक है मैं बोल देता हूँ प्लीज ज्वाइन ठीक है
ये सर
हाँ
जस्ट मिनट
हाँ बताओ
जो एसएमएस से आए ना
हाँ, हाँ।
एसएमएस वो अभी निकल गए उनको
कौन?
जाना है
कौन?
एसएमएस से कोई एसएमएस आया हुआ है ना नाम तो मुझे
नहीं,
हटाना मतलब
एक
गेस्ट
जा
आएंगे एक जा रहे
एक जा रहे
हो
हो।
हाँ वो सीनियर हटाना मतलब गेस्ट आएंगे
डॉक्टर लोहित बात कर
हाँ
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 उनको है
हाँ
तो उनको दे दो सर
तो अभी उनको दे देते हैं
हाँ उनको बोला एक बार हाँ एक बार मिल लो
ना पुलिस को
को बोला के
बंद नहीं कर रहे
वो सीनियर है ना वो डॉक्टर था ना ये डॉक्टर रजिस्ट्रेशन करा लिया
ठीक है
अभी बोल दिया
Hello. Hello, hello. Three number. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello.
Said it there that there is one more IP called as trade secret. So in that, the formula of that Coca-Cola is come
मेरा लड़का जो चीज ले लेता है उसकी ना गांड मार देता है अच्छी वाली लीड थी ये मैं चल नहीं रही मैंने
आई नहीं रही आवाज अब
जैसे मैम एक अनाउंसमेंट कर दीजिए सभी के लिए कि जो सर्टिफिकेट्स है वो शाम को रजिस्ट्रेशन डेस्क से मिलेगी पार्टिसिपेशन किसी को ये पता भी करना है कहाँ से क्रॉस कनेक्शन हुआ ये
A special announcement to all the participants that you all get your certificates from the registration desk at the time of the evening. All right.
some blank slides. बता दो उसको. कौन सी blank है? ये तो आप फुल करोगे टाइटल किसी को वो कर देती हूँ तो इसके साथ कंटिन्यूएशन में वो थैंक यू के बाद है नहीं नहीं वो थैंक यू तक क्लियर करेंगे हम ओके बस सो यू विल बी यूजिंग सेम प्रेजेंटेशन
मैं ना मतलब
बस बस ठीक है
ये हटा
आप नहीं नहीं थैंक यू बचाएंगे नहीं नहीं वो रहेंगे वो तो इफ एनीवन वांट्स कि हाँ कुछ हमें डिस्कस करना है देन
थैंक्स तक ही रहेगा
Okay.
थैंक यू
So, sir, both of you will be using the same PPT. We have mentioned the both. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so we'll be starting off with the session. I'd request everyone to just take their seats. Okay, so a very good afternoon to all. We are going to start with this session. And as you all know that you're all here for the workshop. And I am Dr. Sandeep Paul Chaudhary from MIT School of Applied Sciences with my co-host, Dr. Nehashi Srivastava. The topic for today, the technical word that we have is dementia. And we have some very eminent dignitaries from SMS Hospital. And as we are in denial of having depression, in a similar way, we are also in a denial of actually having dementia. That is, what I believe. With that, I'd like to ask Nehashi ma'am to introduce everyone to the workshop.
A very good afternoon to one and all. And as we know that we are gathered here to exchange ideas and open discussion on one day co-design workshop on early detection and management of dementia in India using explainable artificial intelligence organized by the Cognitive Computing and Brain Informatics Research Group, Nottingham Trent University, and Amity Cognitive Computing and Brain Informatics Center, Amity University, Rajasthan, is also supported by the Indian Intelligence and Informatics Lab and Ministry of Science and Technology. It is indeed a golden opportunity for each one of us to enrich and enlighten ourselves. So, without further ado, I would like to invite our first speaker.
So our first speaker with us is Dr. Sunil Sharma, and I'd like to just tell that we have a combined presentation. So Dr. Sunil Sharma is an MBBS and MD in psychiatry, Senior Specialist Psychiatric Center, Jaipur SMS Hospital. He has a fellow of Indian Psychiatric Society, a fellow of Addiction Psychiatry Society of India. He has various international and national publication, peer-reviewed for various international journals as well. His past association with World Health Organization, WHO, for public health program, and his special interest lies in creating awareness regarding mental health.
And I would like to invite our next speaker, Dr. Sunil Suthar, sir. Dr. Sunil Suthar did his MBBS from Dr. SN Medical College, Jodhpur, post-graduation in psychiatry from SMS Medical College, Jaipur in 2014, and DM in geriatric mental health from King George Medical University, Lucknow in 2017. He is the third in India and first doctor in Rajasthan who did DM in geriatric mental health degree. After completing super speciality, he joined as assistant professor and head department of psychiatry in Government Medical College, Bharatpur, Rajasthan. Currently, he is also visiting consultant geriatric psychiatrist at SMS Medical College, Jaipur. He has actively participated to provide training, National Program for Health Care of Elderly, National Program for Palliative Care, and National Mental Health Program. He has presented various research paper presentation in national and international conferences. He is active member of national and international scientific bodies like IPS, Indian Association of Geriatric Mental Health, and Alzheimer's and Related Disorders Society of India. He also gives various guest lectures, talk show on national television programs, and published news articles on elderly mental health awareness. He has published various research papers related to mental health in national and international journals.
We'd like to request Dr. Sunil Sharma to please start the
Sir, stage is yours. Over to you.
Good afternoon all. First of all, thanks to the organizing committee to give us a chance to associate with the team of technical persons and the AI, which is a very hot or a very recent things in all areas of health, and so is in the mental health. So just to know my audience, anybody from the psychology or psychiatry part, please. Psychology, very nice. Great. So most of them will understand what dementia and what we are talking about. And since it is in all health issues, we say that early detection of any disease is very important as a part of prevention and management. So if we have some technical tools or means by which we can identify them early, and then we will be able to treat them in maybe lesser resources and with lesser expenditures. So in context of India, it is also important to understand the economy and the expenses over the any disease or any health issues, right? So first we'll try to understand what dementia is, what how many type of dementias, what are the early features of dementia, and then how we identify presently what tools we are using, what are the components of the tools which we are using, and how can they be like we get help from AI so that we can identify easily early. Okay. So this is the burden in India, that state-wise burden, and it is expected to rise. We have like this source has tried to identify the rise in the dementia patients or old age population, elderly population, which is on rise. So it is expected to have the more old age patient population in coming years. Since dementia is also a part of cognitive disorder, but there are other things or other disorders also there which mimics the dementia. So what is cognition? Cognition is a term referring to the mental processes involved in gaining knowledge and comprehension, right? Cognition includes memory, language, orientation, judgment, and performing actions and problem solving all. So these are the components of cognition overall. So what cognitive disorders affect? They disrupt in one or more of the above domains which we just enumerated, and are also frequently complicated by behavioral symptoms. So once cognitive domains are deranged, they also affect the behavioral issues or the symptoms. Now, cognitive disorders are classified accordingly. We have various classification systems: ICD-10, DSM-4-TR, or DSM-5. Which is the latest one? DSM is the International Classification for Diseases, which is WHO classification, and DSM is a American Psychiatric Association classification. Now, the organic, including symptomatic and mental disorders, in ICD-10, they are from F00 to F09. That includes dementia in AD, vascular dementia, dementia in other diseases, and unspecified dementia, organic amnestic disorders, delirium, and other mental disorders due to brain damage and dysfunction, and that also include mild cognitive disorder. Recently, DSM-5 have the classification of cognitive disorders as delirium, mild neurocognitive disorders, major neurocognitive disorder. These are the classification where we classify the cognitive disorders. What is cognitive phases? They are in the continuity. So normal cognition, there may be subjective cognitive impairment, there may be mild cognitive impairment, and then dementia. So these are the spectrum of the cognition. So we are just trying to understand that how AI will assist us by knowing that these are the areas where AI has to be worked on. So mild cognitive impairment is a syndrome of cognitive decline that exceeds normal age associated changes but is less than that seen in dementia. So we may say that it is in between the dementia and the normal. And sometimes it may progress to dementia, and sometimes it may not progress to dementia. It is in between, but it is something is there, but which is not affecting your routine life. That is MCI. MCI appears to be transitional state to Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia. Then what is dementia then? What we are calling it as a dementia. So dementia refers to a spectrum of brain disorders, all of which involve cognitive impairment, but are very widely in terms of course and prognosis. Right. So dementia is a kind of dementia are there. There are reason of dementias. Some are reversible causes and some are irreversible causes. So there is a progressive loss of cognitive, or we can say intellectual functions as well. So there is one important line between dementia and delirium is in dementia, there is no impairment of consciousness. There is no impairment of consciousness. So this is one of the differentiating features between dementia and delirium. Dementia is a chronic and progressive nature. There is a disturbance of multiple higher cortical functions, which includes memory, thinking, orientation, comprehension. They do not understand what you are saying, calculations, learning capacity, language, and ultimately the judgment. Dementia produces an appreciable decline in intellectual functioning and usually some interference with personal activities of daily living, such as washing, dressing, eating, personal hygiene, excretory and toilet activities. These are in these slowly progressive and declining the routine activities. Recently, a classification 11th marked impairment in two or more cognitive domains relative to that expected given the individual's age and general premorbid level. Evidence of neurocognitive impairment is based on the information obtained from the individual, informant, or clinical observation. All three sources of information has to be considered. Substantial impairment in memory performance as demonstrated by standardized neuropsychological or cognitive testing, or in its absence, another quantified clinical assessment. We'll talk about that in later, and Dr. Suthar will take on that. And there, as we have talked earlier, that there are some behavioral changes as well. And the symptoms results in significant impairment in the personal, family, social, educational, occupational, or other important areas of the functioning. So this is the given in the classification of ICD-11. So what is the epidemiology, or how big is the concern? What is the amplitude of the problem is? Prevalence of MCI is 15%. Prevalence of dementia is 5 to 7% as per the World Alzheimer Report 2015. In India, it is a little bit variable. In rural areas, it is estimated between 0.6 to 3.5%, and urban areas 0.9 to 4.8%. So this is a variation because different researchers have found it at different rates of prevalences in different geographical areas. For example, this is the part of in our country and the kind of studies which is done, and the prevalence rates are little variable. But still it is in a range of up to 4%, or we can say up to 5%. Now, there are an estimated 10 million new cases of dementia each year worldwide, implying one new case every 3.2 seconds. This is the burden of the problem. It is estimated that 5.3 million people above the age of 60 have dementia in India in 2020. Around 1 in 27 people have the age of 60 in India has a dementia. And this is one of the main cause of disability. Knowing that the dementia, difference of between MCI, dementia, the problem, what are the factors which puts the person on the risk of dementia are age between 60 to 70 years, gender female, prior stroke. If history of stroke is there, that is one of the risk factors. Hardening of arteries, atherosclerosis, we call it. Heart diseases, high blood pressure, diabetes, diets, cholesterol issues, atrial fibrillation, this is cardiac issues, smoking, low education, and family history. These are all risk factors. So maybe while we try to identify early, we should or we must consider these risk factors when we are implying it for the early detection, or AI might be help. So what are the types of dementias? Alzheimer's, we have heard it, and usually we synonymous with the dementia is Alzheimer's, but it is 50 to 55% of all dementia cases are Alzheimer's type. 30 to 35% of cases are vascular dementia. That is because of the cardiovascular reasons. Lewy body dementia, frontotemporal dementia, and other kind of dementias. So this is the estimation of percentage of type of dementia. Then we have also discussed that there are two kind of etiologies. Some of the dementias are of reversible type and some are irreversible type. So just to know that which type of dementia is reversible and which is irreversible. So irreversible dementias are Alzheimer's, Lewy body, Pick's disease, which is also known as frontotemporal dementia, Parkinson's, head injuries, Huntington's disease, and CZ disease. So these are the irreversible type. Now we have a reversible type of dementias, drugs, delirium. Delirium itself has some many causes of the delirium. That includes a list of, but delirium is usually a reversible type of dementia, or we can say a different etiology, not as a dementia. Depression and endocrine diseases, metabolic disturbances, eye and ear impairments, nutritional disorders, tumors, toxicity, trauma to head, infectious disorders, alcohol, and arteriosclerosis. These are the uh, factors which causes the reversible dementia. Now, what are the symptoms of dementia and complications of dementia? Changes in personality, right? If somebody is forgetting the things, then there is a change in personality. Delusions and hallucinations. The kind of behavioral issues come. Mood may be depressed or fluctuating, sometimes maybe a mania with psychotic features. Catastrophic reactions. Sundowning is a feature where it is a drowsiness, confusion, ataxia, and falls in a complicated dementia. Other manifestations may be wandering tendencies, changes in eating habits, altered sleep, and incontinence in a severe and advanced cases of dementia. I think now I'll request Dr. Sunil Sutha to take over further the differential diagnosis in dementia and the tools which we are presently using and what we are expecting as a clinician or as a practicing psychiatrist, that AI will help us in the early diagnosis. That includes our psychologists, colleagues as well. So, Dr. Sunil Suthar.
First of all, thank you, the whole Amity University for organizing such a wonderful workshop. Definitely, we need development of AI tools in the future perspective. Uh, Now, rest of the part of the presentation I am going to cover. Before that, uh, like dementia. How many of you have seen a case of dementia? Can you raise your hand in your family members or other relatives or any person you have encountered like by caring the patient with the dementia? Okay, thank you. So, lot of numbers have raised their hand. So definitely they know what is dementia. So just only reading, you can't understand the problem of the dementia. When you care and the patient with the dementia, then only you will be able to realize is what is dementia and why it is difficult and what are the problem the patient, the family members, the society is facing. As the India graying country, graying means the our elderly population is rising on the trend. Currently is around 10%. With the time, it is within next 10 years, it is going to 15 to 20%. So more elderly will be there, and the more chances of getting dementia. Uh, any one of us can develop the dementia in the future after age of 60 years because age is the strongest risk factor, and that is the factor that we cannot change. We can't change our age. The aging is the strongest risk factor for development of dementia. As the most common cause of the dementia is Alzheimer. Whenever you read any newspaper article anywhere, you can read sometimes they use the term dementia and sometimes they use the term Alzheimer's. Basically, the Alzheimer is the underlying cause of dementia. A lot of diseases that can cause the dementia, and Alzheimer is the one of the most common cause of dementia. What are the warning signs that indicate toward the patient may have probably the dementia? That include the memory loss that affect the job skills, difficulty in performing familiar tasks, performs with the language, disorientation to time, place, poor or decreased judgment, problem with the abstract thinking, misplacing things, changes in the mood or behavior, changes in the personality, loss of initiative. For example, if I ask you a woman, 70-year-old woman working in the 60 to 70-year-old woman working in the house, if and how the her life will be affected, how her life will be affected if the she lost the memory. House or course she will be affected. Very good. For example, previously she was cooking the food herself. Now she was doing lot of mistakes, and that's the indicator that the person is having some kind of cognitive problems. And the most common cause, the one of the most common cause is dementia. Yes, definitely. There, the AI tool may play a major role. AI tools definitely they needs for safety purpose also. You have told better way. Like if she has she is going to cook the food, if she forgot if she forgets to turn off the stove, then it may be risky, very risky. Uh, it may be possible the AI tool can detect such kind of things. Uh, Definitely, there is a need of the AI tool in such situations. Yes, the root finding. In many times, the family members brings the dementia case to the doctor or psychiatrist. That the family member says that he or she used to go to the house of other persons. So, if the patient with the dementia go outside, and what will happen? He or she will go somewhere. and he or she will be unable to return to the home. And what we can do something in the AI tools so that he or she can return in the home. What do you think? Yes. Yes. Example, GPS tracking device. Yes. Where we want to apply the GPS tracking device, wrist band or some locket kind of things there where or and what else? Where you can apply the GPS device in the shoes. You can apply the GPS tracking devices. Or what you can do. So, for example, he or she has lost in the ways somewhere, and someone found, and the dementia patient is not able to tell where to go and from where he or she is. Now, what we can do? Another thing that anyone can identify. Apply your mind. Medical bracelet, very good, where the name or the mobile number of the person can be written. And okay, and think yourself, just think what we can do if the dementia patient lost in the ways, and how any person can identify. Smart watches, yes, very good, through which we can detect. And yes, inside their clothes, very good. Yes. There are the various studies where the GPS or card or something is written on the hands, that which is more effective. Uh, like one another thing is that now the people starts doing the QR code. If you have on the hand with the mark of the QR code, if you scan that code, these are the new concepts which are coming with the times. And with through the QR code, as we know, every persons have the mobile, and the mobile has the QR code scanner. Through that you can detect from the patient belongs to where, so you can send him or her back to the home. Like the dementia can occurs in the Parkinson disease. What is the Parkinson disease? Where the tremors, this is the Parkinson disease, in the tremor, the common symptoms. In that, you can see the 30 to 35 to 55% can develop the dementia. The patients suffering from the Parkinson disease, they are the very high risk to develop dementia. Now, how to approach a patient with the dementia? How we can diagnose a patient with the dementia? When to say patient is having dementia? Simply saying the patient is having the forget few things. Like if the patient says, I used to forget the keys, can we say him or her the patient is having dementia? No, we can't say. Even if I ask you, what did you take food 6 days before in the evening? Can you remember? Or 7 days before in the evening? You will not be able to remember. Why? Because we have the capacity, or the brain has the capacity to remember the things. In the dementia, basically what we are doing, the loss of the previously acquired memory or skills. It is the loss of the previously patient was remember these things, but now the patient is unable to remember, recall, or the have the cognitive impairment. Then we say the patient is having dementia, for which we have to take the history, because many times the patient himself is unable to tell, or the patient don't say that I am having any kind of dementia. So then who will give the history of the patient? Many time family members, they will tell about the patient used to forget these things, and previously the patient was doing well and going to market and purchase the things. Now he is unable to remember the money and giving the money some persons and forget patient forgot that whom he has given me. These are occurring frequently. So the history is very important while approaching a case of dementia. Apart from that, we have to go through the physical and neurological examination because we have sometimes, as the Dr. Sunil Sharma sir has told you, that the reversible cases of dementia. So we have to rule out the any other reversible pathology that can affect our memory. For example, if we have the vitamin B12 deficiency, that can affect our memory also. So we have to rule out the other factors that affect our memory, other cognitions. Apart from that, we have to assess the mental status of the patient. For example, the depression. In the old age is the very challenging task to differentiate between the depression and dementia. Because of the lot of patients, those who come in the in the clinic, our clinic, they their first complaint is the loss of memory. Because the depression patient also complain they unable to remember uh, because in the there when there is the depression, the loss of interest, it is known as a pseudo dementia. Once the depression recovers, the patient will be normal and will be able to remember the things. So being a clinician for us, it's also a challenging task, whether patient is having depression or dementia. AI tool may help in these kind of situations where the clinician has the difficulty to decide whether the patient is having depression or dementia. There are the three D: depression, dementia, and delirium. That delirium is the more severe condition, which is a life-threatening condition that we have also to rule out in the clinical practice. Uh, Three things we have to assess in the patient in the dementia. One is active ABC. That approach is called as a ABC. A is the activity of daily living. Activity of daily living means two types of activity of daily living are there. One is the instrumental activity and one is the basic activity of daily living. Instrumental activity daily living is handling the phone, handling the money, and going to market and going to job. These are the instrumental activity of daily living. And the basic activity of daily living includes the bathing, dressing, eating, toileting. So the dementia we can only call when the activity of daily living is affected. If the patient is having the only memory impairment, but the activity of daily living is not affected, then we will not make the diagnosis of dementia. We will make the diagnosis of mild cognitive impairment. To make the diagnosis of dementia, there is a deficit in the activity of daily living. The As we know, the dementia progresses with the time in the especially the irreversible case Alzheimer disease. Initially the patient forget the things about the going to market, and the housewife forgets the doing the household chores, and later on the patient, as the disease advances and the patients are having the difficulty in bathing, dressing, and eating, in the advanced stage the patient become bedridden, and that time we need the palliative cares. uh, Second B is the behavior. Many times the early feature of the dementia is not the cognitive impairment, that is the change in behavior. uh, like especially the special type of dementia is frontotemporal dementia, where because the frontal lobe of the brain is affected, which is responsible our personality. Because of the damage in the frontal lobe in the frontotemporal dementia or Pick's disease, it's result into the change in the behavior. And in the old age, when there is change in the behavior, that also indicate that there may be the possibility of dementia. Apart from the behavior, changes in the dementia is very challenging task, very challenging to the family members. So the behavior symptoms can be psychological symptoms can be asked from the patient as well as the family members. Third C is assessment of cognition, as we have discussed previously, told the important for the diagnosis of dementia. These are the ABC. While making the diagnosis of dementia, these three are the main pillars. Now moving to the neuropsychological assessment. Uh, for making the diagnosis of dementia, as we have discussed in the ICD, International Classification of Disease, cognitive impairment is must. But when will we say that the patient is having cognitive impairment? Just merely the patient is saying, I used to forget the things. Can we say is the dementia? No. How to quantify that the cognitive impairment is there? How much cognitive impairment is there? So we have a lot of tools to assess the cognitive impairment in a patient. Uh, the importance of these neuropsychological tools, it helps in to localize the lesion. For example, if the change in behavior is early feature that indicate the patient is having frontal lobe pathology, if the memory impairment is prominent, is early feature is there that indicate the patient is having temporal lobe dysfunctions. If the patient is having apraxia, like three-dimension problems, dressing apraxia, that indicate the patient is having the pathology in the parietal lobe. So the neuropsychological assessment also indicate the pathology in this area of the brain lies. It helps in the making the diagnosis because and it also helps in the changes with the time. Like the previously patient was scoring 30 points, now the patient is scoring 20 points, and with the time the dementia how much is progressing or stable, that helps in the also in the making a prognosis and the various. These are the various cognitive domains we have to assess while doing the cognitive assessment. AI tool may help to assess these tools, but the difficult task is the culture barrier. We need the culture free test incorporated in the AI tools. For example, the AI tools, the commonly what general public is using like Alexa and Google, in which it has been found in the studies that the change in language, they may pick the previously patient was talking about the previously was talking the recent things. Now because the patient forgetting recent things, the patient started talking old things, or the patient is in naming difficulty, that can be picked by the AI tools. So it may help in the early detection of the cognitive changes in the patient. These are the different cognitive domains we have to assess while assessing the cognition. Most widely used tools for the assessment of cognition is the mini mental status examination worldwide, and in India is HMSC Hindi mental status examinations. There are the various issues regarding the validity, reliabilities, and performance, psychological problems that adversely affect the performance of these tools. Treatment of dementia mainly depends on the type, severity, and behavior and the symptoms of the dementia, and that include also first line non-pharmacological management and pharmacological managements. Top challenges in the field of dementia care by the caregiver in India is ageism. They don't think a dementia is a problem or illness or a disease. They think that it is a normal, nothing is a problem, and they don't want any treatment. Lack of awareness about the dementia, lack of daycare center in the India, and the behavioral and psychological symptom of dementia, and lack of manpower and lack of trained manpower, and again the dementia care cost. Thank you. Any question? Any question? Yes.
No problem.
We'd like to move on to the next speaker. Before that, the speaker is online, so we'd just like to confirm if we are audible. We have Sir Jocelyn Fobart from Canada. Sir, are we audible to you?
Yes, very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the
Can
confirmation.
you hear me?
Yeah, you're audible, sir. Clear.
Very good.
So before so you start, I'd just like to put on a brief introduction of Professor Joseph Fobart. He's from the University of Montreal, Canada. He's a Canadian psychophysicist best known for his work in the field of visual perception, vision of the elderly, and neuropsychology. Fobart holds the NSERC SLR Industrial Research Chair in Visual Perception and Presbyopia. He's the director of the Lab of Psychophysics and Visual Perception at the University of Montreal. Fobart has been involved in the transfer of research and development from the lab into the commercial domain. He's the co-founder and member of the board of directors of Cognizance Inc. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. First of all, I'd like to congratulate my friend and colleague, Professor Ray, for initiating this center, and of course, all the administration of Amity University, and of course, the collaboration with Nottingham. I think this is a very timely initiative and very useful initiative. We still have a lot to learn about the brain, but one thing we do know is that sleep is essential for good brain function. So given it's 3:40 a.m. for me, I may have some signs of dementia, so please bear with me. I just want to, first of all, maybe introduce the kind of topics and things that we are interested in here and how we can work synergistically with Amity and the ACCBI Center, because we do have a lot of our activities that involves computational and AI type technologies and approaches to understand the brain, to measure brain activity, and also to work on certain aspects of brain function to improve and maybe work on what we call neuroplasticity. So I'm just going to say a few general words, and there's going to be some people speaking a little later on, including Dr. Misagyan and Sohail Mohammed, who I work with, and some of the technologies involved in these approaches have evolved from our laboratory. So I really do think that the work that we do here in Canada, Montreal, where AI is extremely developed, there's a huge center here called Mila, which I'm involved with, where AI approaches and AI technologies are being developed every day. So I see, to stick on the theme of the topic today, because it's mention of dementia, and following the first two presenters here who classified the different conditions and so on and so forth, I'd like to sort of maybe propose where computational neuroscience and AI can really be helpful, and how we use these technologies to these tools with these approaches to try to understand the brain. So one of the things that we've been focused on is using AI to interpret signals of the brain. So for us to understand the brain, we have to use some objective measures of brain activity. And because we are focused on applications and potentially transfer of these technologies or these approaches to real life conditions to improve quality of life, as was mentioned in the previous speaker, we focus on real-time imaging, such as commonly used EEGs, so electroencephalograms. So these are electrical impulses that we measure on the skull of the brain. The advantage with such techniques is that they can be portable now, and they can be used online, and they can be used to also not only to understand what the brain is doing, but also to interface with objects. So if we can interpret brain signals, and if we can do this online, then we could do several things. One, potentially understand what the brain is, what is the condition of the brain at that moment in time, but also for intentions of people. So hopefully you can use this in the context of what we call brain-computer interface. So it's essentially brain activity that is measured online and interacts with objects or intentions in the real world. So the classic example of brain-computer interface is a paraplegic who can displace can move a wheelchair or can type on a computer, etc. But these techniques now are becoming more and more sophisticated. And here is where I see a real promise in artificial intelligence, because it can be potentially very powerful to interpret brain signals. So one of the first things that we worked on was to try to understand all the different AI models or deep learning models that were used out in, were presently used, and to see how efficient they are interpreting brain signals from these different measurement techniques. So EEGs, but also other imaging techniques that can or potentially are portable, such as optical imaging techniques. So that's one application of it. The second application of it that we're working on. Second application of it, where I see potential in of course, the dementia space, is not only understanding what the brain activity, but trying to find out these selective signals that interpret or can help us classify these conditions. For instance, a lot of the conditions that were described, we're talking about MCI, which is in some ways sometimes seen as a precursor of dementia, but not necessarily a transfer to dementia. But there is a higher percentage of people who have MCI that will develop dementia. So for instance, being able to distinguish early symptoms of MCI as opposed to a normal aging process, for instance, through these objective measures, objective brain activity measures, then would help us certainly in this space. So I see a lot of potential, and these are the kinds of things that we are working on. The second aspect of it is then understanding what we call brain plasticity. So brain plasticity works in several ways. Of course, learning is brain plasticity. So as we learn things, the networks get build up, but brain plasticity doesn't disappear with age. It's still there. It may be different, but it's still there. And brain plasticity can potentially be used to slow the process. It doesn't cure. It's not something that can reverse the disease, but it's something that potentially can slow down the symptoms and consequences of the condition. And we match these measurements, these brain activity measurements, with behavioral interventions and try to determine whether these behavioral interventions, for instance, mental exercises, physical exercises, and other kinds of interventions. And we try to determine, for instance, whether this generates brain plasticity. And in this case, also represented by either stabilizing cognitive function or even in some cases improving cognitive function. So these are other activities that we're involved in, and where AI is quite useful, again, from the interpretation perspective, but also from a classification perspective in regards to the distinction of the tools. And finally, another aspect where AI relative to dementia or any kind of neuro degenerative kind of condition or brain condition is in the interpretation of multiple signals, physiological signals. So you have brain activity, but you can also measure heart activity. You can measure physical activity, and even language, for instance, as was mentioned in the previous talk. So all of these can combine to give a more powerful picture and representation of what the condition of the patient is, and whether any kind of medication or drug intervention and or behavioral intervention, and whether the combination of drug and behavioral intervention can be beneficial. We are already doing some pilot work on that in the case of dementia, but also in other brain conditions, for instance, after brain trauma and stroke and recovery. So these are the kinds of things where AI can be extremely useful tool. So I'm just going to wrap it up because I'm running out of energy at 3:30 a.m. But I just want to reiterate that I really believe that this is an extremely timely and very nice initiative. And I would like to congratulate everybody who is involved, and of course, specifically my good friend, Dr. Kanad Ray. And hopefully what we do here in Canada, we can sort of work in collaboration with this center and hopefully implement some of the kinds of activities we do here over there. So with this, thank you very much. If anybody has any questions, I can answer, but it's very hard to do this virtually. So thank you for having me.
Thank you, Professor Fawad. This is Kanad here.
Yes, Kanad.
So thank you for coming so late, late night presentation. Now you can sleep, and continuing our collaboration, and
Of course. I do want to say that we also work on very fundamental aspects, in fact, in collaboration with Dr. Ray, on trying to understand how neurons work, how neural communication works. And we use physics principles to be able to, so it's another aspect of a computational aspect. It's not just AI, it's AI in the context of computational work. So I just want to say that I also will be part of the center activity, I'm sure.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We look forward for you to visit us in person, maybe one day at Amity University.
I was there before COVID, so I was I was invited, and it was a wonderful place, and the people were wonderful, and I can't wait to go back.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Just one emotional dialogue, or one sentence that I can remember. We remember their love when they can no longer remember. So it is something very touchy if you are close to a dementia patient. Our next speaker is Kasayar Bishigya, sir. I just like to confirm if, sir, am I audible?
Hello, yes, I can hear you perfectly. Thank you for having me. Do you hear me as well?
Just need to give a brief introduction so that participants can know about you. We have with us Dr. Kashayar Mishagya. He is from Sage Sentinel, Japan. He received his PhD in vision science with a specialty in neuroscience from the Université de Montréal, Canada. His engineering background and work in neuroscience, machine vision, and neuromuscular control system and their application in aging were his inspiration to co-found Sage Sentinel. He also holds an industrial patent with Essilor Group, the world's largest ophthalmic optics company. Moreover, he is an entrepreneur graduate from the Okinawa Institute of Science and Technology. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. I ask for permission to share my screen. Go. All right. Is my screen is being demonstrated here?
Yes, sir.
Excuse me. Okay, thank you. Our initiative name is Sage Sentinel, and we are addressing the falling problem in the older adult population, including the dementia patients. One day that I was working on my thesis on action prediction, my professor came in devastated. That day, his mom has fallen. I share the same experience with my grandma falling in the shower and losing her life after a week because of the impact. And that day we decided to use and apply our research to help people from this disaster. A healthy young brain uses 5 cognitive prediction mechanisms to speed up balance recovery. As we age, the executive functioning declines, and more noise and more connectivity problems causes the fall risk to grow with age. Turns out this problem is not limited to the members of our team. 37 million over 65 people around the world fall every year. Available technologies only detect the fall after it happens and call for help. Despite their benefits, they still cannot prevent the hips from getting broken or heads getting hit by hard objects. So that's why Sage Sentinel is offering a real solution to this real problem, and that would be to predict the fall and prevent it immediately. To see the difference between these two kinds of technologies, let's take a look at the lives of two people who have these different technologies installed in their living space. Here we have Ken. He has two detection technologies installed in his living space. One day he falls. The technology works perfectly. They come and take him to the hospital. And after the recovery, he loses some abilities and he needs to move into a more limited living condition. As opposed to Yuka, who has a video-based prevention solution installed in her living space. One day, the system predicts that she's about to fall 3 to 5 seconds before she receives the vibrotactile sensing. She stops moving, and when it's safe, she moves on with her life. And when she gets outside, she uses the motion capture belt solution. The system predicts if she's about to fall. She receives the tactile feedback. She stops moving. And when it's safe, she moves on with her other activities. And that's how we see the quality of life might change immensely if we have a prevention system, immediate prevention system, as opposed to just detection system. We are offering a video-based solution and a motion capture belt solution for outside and more private spaces. To understand how this technology works, let's take a look at, it's basically based on how our brain processes biological motion and read stuff from it. Here you can see what do I mean by biological motion. If you look at these moving dots, your brain has the capacity to tell this is a person walking, he's happy, then he's sad, even you can tell that's a he. Better news, and more interestingly, this circuitry in the brain can help us to predict actions. For example, on the right side, you are looking at a soccer player who's about to kick a ball towards you. I'm just gonna play 1 second of his action, and your brain basically can tell you that this ball goes to your right. This is exactly our system is a simulation of this part of the brain. And that's how we can predict if somebody's about to fall before it happens. This is a result of 19 years of research in Professor Fauvert's lab. And with his experience in tech transfer and our focus on addressing aging problems, this is what we are offering today. We are looking for investment and funding to continue our operations, product improvement, and covering our marketing costs. We are in partnership with Innovation Center in Okinawa Institute of Science and Technology, Japan, that support us and is basically the accelerator we sprung out of. We have a senior center in Japan and a senior center in the US who are helping us with testing our product. We've been featured in many tech and scientific outlets, as you can see in the pictures below. Thank you for your attention. I hope I made it to the 5 minutes, and I would be happy to answer any questions. Professor Kanat, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, sir, for valuable and wonderful presentation on prevention. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much.
This one is okay. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Mishagia, because
Thank you very much.
I think right now you are in USA, so you're still after midnight. Yeah.
It's earlier than Canada, but it's 1 a.m.
Thank you for coming over here and joining. For the
My pleasure.
We hope that the collaboration, we will continue the collaboration. Professor Lugo, he could not come today, also.
Yes.
Tell him also, so that we will be, through this center, we will be advancing our collaboration and research. Thank you.
We are very excited and we are looking forward to expand our collaboration. It is very exciting, and congrats on all this amazing workshop and initiative. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful presentation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much from India. Yeah. So, since knowledge is not confined by boundaries, its light pierces through barriers and it spreads everywhere. So now I take a great pleasure in inviting our next speaker, Mr. Suhail Mohammed, sir. Let me check the availability of this, sir.
Yes, I'm available.
Yeah. Okay, sir. So, Mr. Suhail Ahmed Mohammed, sir, CEO, founder, Cheers Wisdom Private Limited, a passionate thinker and innovator. He loves to apply design thinking to solve the problems of the society. Suhail is a passionate about technology, history, philosophy, and design. He is a self-taught artificial intelligence and blockchain product designer who aims to innovate cross-material industries to apply design thinking and technology to enable consumers. He started as product designer and artificial intelligence researcher in 2017 to apply data sciences to filmmaking. His passion about understanding data to create value for organization and consumers has driven him to start his entrepreneurial journey. Suhail sir is a currently leading Cheers Wisdom Private Limited and Scriptcraft as CEO and has founded the company. He holds patent in cognitive computing to understand emotional intelligence of users through social data. So, sir, stage is yours. Over to you.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much. Firstly, I would like to congratulate Amity and the team for establishing ACCBI. I think it's very timely because with the growing mental problems, I think founding this kind of institute would solve not only India's problem but would also kind of add up a lot of value to the global markets. So I think that's a pretty great initiative. So firstly, I would like to thank Professor Kanad for inviting me over here. And I definitely think this is a great opportunity to have this kind of workshop, to be a participatory member of this workshop. To give some background about myself, so I'm Sohail, and I'm basically from India, Hyderabad, and I'm now living in Canada for a while. And I've got an opportunity to work with Professor Jocelyn Fobe and also Professor Kanad on various research projects. And yeah, broadly to give some background on the company that we are doing, Cheers Wisdom. So particularly the concept is to leverage the concepts of situational awareness in the concept of wellness. So primarily our research was based out of AI and neuroscience, which is to understand situational awareness in a social context. And we were trying to leverage this technology so that we can improve human wellness. So the couple of case uses that we are doing at this moment is basically with the cardiac patients. So currently we have developed a mobile platform, a technology that could work as a co-pilot in remote patient monitoring, where it basically acts with the patient, along with the patient, not just track the vital signs, but it also focuses on symptom perception, tries to understand how the patient is basically feeling and coping up with the treatment plan. So this technology basically acts as a bridge between clinicians and also the patients, and it helps in basically reducing a lot of readmissions and also encourages patients to cope up well with the treatment, and it helps clinicians in personalizing the treatment. So right now, we are testing this product with 50 patients in Jaipur at a university called NIMS. So right now, we are expecting to commercialize this product from June. And we're also in collaboration with Professor Fobe and also with University of Victoria, where we are trying to work on problems related to concussions. We are trying to apply the similar kind of technology, a situational awareness enabled technology, to kind of monitor and guide the patient towards wellness in the case of concussions. So when I got a chance to learn about the initiative that you guys have taken, I felt the similar case uses can be applied in the case of dementia, because dementia is also a problem where you know the vital signs always doesn't indicate what's going on with the patient. So with the involvement of technology such as AI and cognitive computing, you would be able to intervene with the patient at different situations, and that data can be very vital to clinicians in suggesting treatment plans and encouraging them to follow personalizing the treatment ideally. So yeah, definitely I think leveraging this kind of technologies related to AI, not only in patient wellness but at a preventive stage, as the previous speakers mentioned. If the technology can act as a co-pilot with the dementia patients to really gauge or monitor their situations appropriately, and if can guide towards wellness, I think that has a huge role to play. And India being a market which has like huge potential on AI, I think if you can bank on that and add up institutes like this, the brain research, I think that leaves us with like a huge potential, which not only helps us to serve Indian market but also put us in the global markets. So yeah, I think it's the right time to start on that, and I would like to thanks Professor Kanath for this opportunity, and would be happy to collaborate with Amity on any given point of time to extend our research. Yeah, thank you so much again. If you have any questions, you can just pop it up here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable insight about dementia. And if any questions from the audience?
Thank you, Sohail, for joining here. And yes, it's very good offer from your side that from MIT Center we could collaborate with you, and because the company is into different types of making these tools and all these and apps, so it will be right thing. And also, this workshop is all about some tools for early detection of dementia and all this. So those things different types of things could be incorporated there, particularly also you mentioned about the cyberbullying and all this digital wellness part.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. I think we're also working in different areas of cyber wellness and also related to different wellness related areas. So I definitely see a scope of potential synergy and collaboration. Absolutely. Thank you so much again.
Thank you so much, sir, once again.
Thank you so
Now,
much.
I'm pleased to invite our next speaker from UTM Malaysia, Dr. Abdul Hesam Ahmed, sir. Let me check, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, I'm edible.
Namaste from India. Dr. Badrul Hesam Ahmed, sir, currently is a professor at the University Technical Malaysia, Melaka. UTM pioneers practice and application-oriented teaching and learning methodology for higher technical in Malaysia. UTM is situated at the UNESCO Heritage Site of the historical city of Melaka. UTM's research area is advanced manufacturing and computing technology. Badrul Hesam Ahmed sir graduated with honors degree in electronics and communication engineering from the University of Leeds, UK in 1998. He received an MSc degree from University of Cambridge, Malaysia in 2003 and a PhD degree from Leeds University, United Kingdom for a thesis on the design and development of SIW filters in 2008. He is also an active researcher with a good track record with several research projects in RF and microwave engineering. Sir, we are delighted to have you as our speaker. Stage is yours. Over to you.
Hi everyone. Here in Malaysia we are about 3:30 or close to 4 o'clock actually in the afternoon. Well, I would like to congratulate my close friend Prof. Kanat Ray for reaching to this stage, for organizing this very good initiative, very good institution, and it combines multidisciplinary. So basically, everyone, my background is microwave engineering. My basically the area of my research is on antenna and also high frequency microwave devices. So basically, I think now a lot of research has been going on, especially in terms of uh, bridging between biological research and also engineering. Basically, we are trying to understand, if we are able to understand how does human brain works, and then we translate it in terms of electronics, is we can predict, especially the brainwave, or we can understand the pattern and so on. So basically, it's all about study how brain communicates between the neurons and so on. So the studies still developed because Prof. Kenneth Ray, I believe, have a very strong background in terms of the antenna and model the antenna, especially in terms of neurology, in terms of brain connectivity. So basically, I would like, so I have MOU actually with MET University of Rajasthan. So it's a 5 years MOU, and so basically we are co-organized conference together. I've invited Prof. Kenneth as a keynote speaker for the conferences, and also we publish journal together. And I would like to have this MOU to be extended to be an MOA, which is memorandum of agreement. I would like to extend it further if we have an international grant and so on. So I'm looking forward to a very fruitful and memorable collaboration between MET University Rajasthan and University Technical Malaysia Melaka. And any future collaboration, any future research area and discipline is very much welcome. Okay, I think that's all from me. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Professor. This is Konad here.
Yes, Prof.
For your talk and presentation. And you had been here, MIT years back. Also, we have a long collaboration. It's very good to hear from
Yes.
to
Your voice is not quite clear.
sorry, MOU. Yes,
Yes, yes.
that it could be extended to MOA, the memorandum of
Yes. Yes.
do that. And
Yes, I'm look forward to the future MOA with Prof. Kanare and AUR.
so thank you very much for being here.
Thank you very much.
So with this, we actually come to the end of this session. I know, it's a bit over time. Everyone is a bit hungry for lunch. So after lunch, we are going to start with the next session where we are going to have a lot of, sharing of experiences. So I'd like to thank Sunil sir, Sunil Square sir. Your presentations were together, so we feel it's special. Maybe hope someday we'll definitely meet again. You'll give us a visit again. So we'll break for lunch now, and after that we'll join for the next session. If you have any doubts, you can ask our volunteers for the details. Thank you. A big round of applause for you all, actually. So it'll be starting at around 2:20. So I'd request all of you to have your lunch and be ready by that time.